Well, this is awkward, having spent the last couple of months giving Dan Ives some credit for holding true and steady with his price target as opposed to previously, which historically appears to be the trend with Dan chasing after Tesla stock in one direction or another. Well, Dan Ives has lowered his Tesla price target from $550 per share to $315 per share, which is quite a remarkable decline. Not that far off cutting it in half. Can't wait to learn what's changed meaningfully about Tesla's business all of a sudden. What happened to the sum of the parts valuation? Technology, AI. So let's see here. Musk created brand crisis plus Trump tariffs equals perfect storm for Tesla. Price target to $315 per share. By the way, put a pin in it, folks. Let's check back 12 months from now. How many times will Dan have increased his price target again from $315 between now and then? The economic tariff Armageddon unleashed by the Trump administration is a double whammy for Tesla in our view. Tesla is less exposed to tariffs than other US automakers. As well as foreign autos, although Tesla still derives a considerable amount of its parts and batteries from sources outside the US, including China. This will be a clear cost impact to Tesla in the US and ultimately be passed on to consumers with some demand destruction if these tariffs hold in their current form. Spoiler alert, by the way, they won't. They're being used as a negotiation tactic. 6 months from now, just about every country that had tariffs levied at them, reciprocal tariffs, by the way, will have gone, hang on, you're telling us if we drop our tariffs on the US, then you're going to drop your tariffs on our goods. Oh, we'll just drop our tariffs then. I mean, brother, this is so obviously a negotiating tactic. And by the way, just to be clear, all any country need to do, if they don't like the tariffs currently in place or about to come into effect from the US on their goods, is drop their fucking tariffs on US goods. I mean, hello. So, spoiler alert, these tariffs will not hold in their current form. There'll be a few holdouts 6 months from now, brain-dead countries trying to virtue signal, US bad, Orange Man bad, Elon bad, everything bad. But anyone with any common sense will go, yeah, you know what, fair's fair. If we're charging 80% on US goods coming to our country and you're going to charge 80% tariffs on our goods coming to the US, yeah, maybe we'll just drop our 80% tariffs on the US so you can do likewise. Duh. Now, given this comment from Dan, the opening here is tariffs won't affect Tesla as much as other US automakers. Here's a little bit of homework for you guys and girls. Might be worth investigating whether or not Dan or his colleagues at Wedbush currently have price targets on GM, Ford or Stellantis, and if so, have they cut them more than in half given the fact that these companies will be more affected than Tesla? Just putting that out there. And of course, given the fact that Dan Ives is quite clear that Tesla is more than just a car company, in fact they're an AI and technology play that also sells cars, that part of the business obviously not at all impacted by tariffs. So if they were being consistent, I guess you'd expect to see their GM, Ford and Stellantis price targets, if they cover those companies, to be roughly a quarter of what they were yesterday, if they're being consistent. Oh man, that's awkward. Just wanted to check in on Dan's price targets and currently ranked number 8,336 out of 9,386 Wall Street analysts. Yikes. That said, I have a sneaking suspicion Dan's probably ranked a little bit higher on 12-month commissions received in his industry. So moving on. So man, this note is just unbelievable. Check this out. Tesla has essentially become a political symbol globally. And that is a very bad thing for the future of this disruptive tech. Bro, do you seriously think consumers in China, which they're referencing right now, there could be backlash in China, the same country that rolled out the red carpet for Tesla? Do you think they give a flying fuck about Elon Musk's involvement with the Department of Government Efficiency or his support of Orange Man bad? Do you really think the Chinese consumer is going to turn away from purchasing an incredible vehicle? By the way, what was the world's best-selling vehicle? Tesla's Model Y. What was the best-selling vehicle in China? Tesla's Model Y. Do you really think the Chinese consumer is going to turn away from that? Brother, what is this guy smoking? Please, Dan, save me some. Skipping ahead a little bit. Our long-standing bull view of Tesla remains, but there is no denying this is a pivotal moment of truth for Musk to turn things around, or darker days are ahead. But this situation is not sustainable, and the brand of Tesla is suffering by the day as a political symbol. Okay, so getting to the point of it, this is ridiculous, dude. We are lowering our price target from $550 to $315, wait for it, to reflect these new, softer demand estimates. I was going to say that again. They've cut their price target, not far off cutting it in half, to reflect their softer demand estimates. I don't think the math is mathing here, guys. Earlier in the note, which I skipped ahead, we now estimate Tesla has lost/destroyed at least 10% of its future customer base globally. This number could be 20% or higher in Europe, all self-inflicted by Musk. So yeah, math ain't mathing here, guys. Anyway, moving on. Did somebody say self-inflicted brand destruction? What's this? The president of the US Oil and Gas Association has just ordered a Tesla. Not only just ordered a Tesla, but publicly posted about it. writing, protesting the protests yesterday by protesting in my own way with my wallet. Let's go. Bro has just purchased a Tesla Model 3. Huh. Yeah, looks like some real brand destruction to me. Meanwhile, I don't want to be too mean to this dude. I mean, he's probably not the sharpest tool in the shed, so I'll be gentle. Check out this caption that Elon Musk posted in response to this video. The problem is the puppet masters, not the puppets, as the latter have no idea why they're even there. So let's see some of these recent anti-Trump and or anti-Elon, which, by the way, Elon and Trump are currently the same thing, at least if you're on the political left and an NPC. So let's check out these alleged protesters explaining in their own words what the hell is going on. This is some real legitimate brand destruction right here, folks. Glad she's staying nice and safe in 2025.
So what makes Trump a fascist? What makes Trump a fascist?
He does things without
You gotta talk loud. I don't have my mic on.
I'm not really good into interviews stuff like that.
Sorry?
He just does everything he wants, and not following laws, or he's a convicted felon. That's all I know.
But
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about this dude. Clearly, the bell curve is real. The poor guy's been programmed. The only thing he knows, allegedly, is Trump's a convicted felon. Oh, it's almost like we understand why the justice system was weaponized to go after Trump on these ridiculous charges, right? The dude doesn't know why he's there, what he's protesting, can't articulate anything, yet he's here and he's got a sign. Is he representative of many of the other folks in this totally not a renter crowd?
your sign says he's a fascist, and I'm just curious what makes him a fascist.
One of the things is that he's trying to control the media, right?
Say that again?
He's trying to control the narrative.
How is he trying to control the media? Doesn't every president try to control the narrative?
They try to control their own narrative, but one of the things that Trump's has done, for example, is the renaming the Gulf of Mexico, and then not allowing the Associated Press to come into the White House. Basically.
All right, hold up a sec. Now, look, clearly this guy, I shouldn't assume, trying his best to explain, but he's just claimed that Trump's a fascist because Trump's trying to control the media. What actually was he referring to? The renaming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and then the Associated Press, who refused to refer to the Gulf of America as the Gulf of America, were no longer welcome back to the White House press events because they were being fuckwits. The Associated Press are still free to publish press. There's no control over the press. Like, if you invite somebody over for dinner and they take a shit on your dining table, you're within your rights to never invite them over for dinner again. All right? It doesn't mean you're trying to control what they eat. It's just they're not invited back because they're a dick. Very different things. Try harder, my friend.
Trying to get...
What are your feelings about him renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America when a majority of the Gulf is in fact on the coast of America as opposed to Mexico?
I mean, it's kind of pointless. People...
Is it pointless?
Yeah, people call it the Gulf of Mexico. What's the
Don't
point
you think
of
it could have a
changing the name?
positive tourism impact potentially?
Tourism has been down heavily.
So I don't want to get into a tourism debate. My question is, the sign says the fascist Trump regime must go.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious what makes him a fascist. You pointed out that maybe something about his relationship with the media, he wants to control it, but
Yeah.
how? Again, you're calling him a fascist.
Yeah, well,
what makes him a fascist?
One of the core tenets of fascism is creating an enemy, right? And blaming those problems on
What's
the
that?
enemy.
Oh, yeah,
So-
the paper gave me, yeah.
Who gave you that?
The people that gave me the sign.
Did you hear that? Bro here, again, I don't want to be mean, okay? I mean, this poor dude, total NPC, has just admitted out loud that the instructions he's just pulled out and received were given to him by the same people who gave him the sign when he turned up at this totally organic, non-centrally organised, super legitimate protest. Okay, bro here turns up. He's probably got nothing better to do, wants to be a part of something, he's lonely, who knows, whatever. Turns up, and the totally non-centrally organising people say, hey bro, you don't have a sign. Here, would you like to pick out a sign? Oh, by the way, here's a list of instructions and things to say and responses when people may ask you questions. Better to just not answer their questions, but if they do, here's some prepared responses, maybe some chance to say, God damn, dude.
Free sign.
Oh, someone gave you the sign,
Yeah.
and then they gave you the handout.
Yeah.
So are you reading it now to try to answer the question?
Yeah, but I mean...
Can I see that? Can you hold that up?
I'm just not...
No, I'm just curious.
Maybe you can have it.
I can have it?
Yeah, you can have it.
Alrighty. So where did you get the sign?
All the way in the gatekeeper's house.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just pretty cool.
And that's another one? They gave you two pieces of paper?
Here.
Can I have that one too?
Yes, you can have both.
Oh, okay. So what brings you guys out here today?
Just because I saw people were hanging out with people from...
Yeah, same thing as everyone else. Exactly.
Bro just said that what brought him out today was that he saw people hanging out. Bro, what? And folks, this ain't the only example. Check this one out.
And what brings you out here today?
What doesn't?
Can you explain a little bit?
By the way, that chant, hey, hey, ho, ho, Trump and Musk have got to go totally not on the pre-prepared paper, on the pre-prepared chants.
For our viewers, what this means?
Go ahead.
Where's your handout?
Do you guys catch that? How incredibly awkward. These three senior citizens are currently holding up a sign in the kakistocracy. When asked to explain the meaning of the sign, NPC number 1 palms it off to NPC number 2, who palms it off to the guy who received the notes from the people that gave them the sign to explain what the sign means. I told you fucks from day one. These were renter crowds, centrally organised fake protests, a massive psychological operation to create the perception that people of the US have turned against Trump, turned against Musk. It's all bullshit.
Kakistocracy. Government by the least suitable or competent citizens of a state. Seems to fit, doesn't it?
Least competent citizens of the state certainly seems to fit the people currently holding this sign. I could keep going, literally for days, by the way. Check this out from Mario. Exposed anti-Elon, quote-unquote, protests are staged and paid, bussed in, scripted, and clocked out. The anti-Elon, anti-Doge, anti-Trump protests in DC, they aren't grassroots. They are payroll-driven theatre. Buses rolled in, packed with hired protesters. Pre-made signs were handed out, assembly line style. Scripts were distributed to keep the messaging on brand, and the protesters all left at once, just like the end of a shift. The protests are organised by AstroTurf, NGO-backed, donor-funded, and as fake as their outrage. It's a union of grifters and bureaucrats trying to stop Elon from cutting off their taxpayer-funded gravy train. And by the way, no lies detected. You can see the buses with the renter crowds turning up, opening their luggage compartment full of signs. Previously, evidence was deleted of $200 per person reimbursements for attending protests, by the way. Awkward. So, shall we look at some receipts, motherfuckers?
Took about a 30-minute break, and we went back to the hotel to recharge. When we come back, and this place is dead. Take a look. Like, not a single protester in sight. And just 20 to 30 minutes ago, it was completely packed with protesters. So, one of two things. Either A, they were paid, and their time was gone. You know, they're off work, they get to go.
That is the correct answer.
Or B, they're literally just a cult and they all left at once. Like, it's one of the two options.
So let's engage our brains for a second here and just think, even if it hurts. If you legitimately believed in this particular cause and you were hanging out with a bunch of other people who legitimately believed in this cause, surely would you not take the opportunity socially to have some conversations about the current thing you currently all agree on and are willing to spend time protesting about? Would there not be some conversations being carried on 20, 30, 40, 60, 90, even a couple of hours later, people hanging out, hey man, yeah, it was a great protest, yeah, Elon bad, orange. You think that might happen, right? Fucking tumbleweeds. I wonder why. And footage inside the luggage area of the bus that totally didn't bring in totally a rented crowd with the pre-made signs, at least those that are currently left over. And just finally, more evidence that it's all fake. And again, just remember that Elon and Trump are currently the same thing, which is bad, gigabad. Therefore, these rented crowds, they're like one in the same. Check this out.
Now we're protesting.
Well, he is fucking up the American democracy right now and trying to kind of repeal a bunch of shit in the Constitution, like, you know, rights and liberties. So,
is there anything in specific that he's...
I don't have all the information, but I do know.
What are you against?
Personally, I'm against tyrants. I'm against tyranny. That's what I'm against.
What is that?
Somebody who's coming in and trying to take over the country and get rid of the rules and regulations that have existed for centuries to keep us citizens safe.
And who do you think is doing that?
Currently, Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all of his cabinet members.
Why Elon Musk, though?
The Department of Government Efficiency, he was put in charge of a department that doesn't even exist before this, and he's not even an American.
Who's not an American?
Elon Musk.
Okay,
He's from South Africa. I don't know if you knew that.
How do you feel about Donald Trump?
I think that he deserves to die.
Bro, what the... Bro doesn't know anything except what's written on his sign. But he does know that he wants Donald Trump to die. And he's so dumb he said that out loud on video. Bro, what the actual... You know, it kind of reminds me of a post I saw yesterday from some guy with 3 first names who wrote, Step 1, close a mental asylum. Step 2, and then he shared an aerial video of these alleged protesters full of a bunch of NPCs congregated together who don't know why they're there and say things like they want Trump to die.
To what?
Die.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
So who do you want to run America?
The people, preferably.
You want the people to run America?
Like a democracy should be, yes.
Do you feel like the people...
Like the people in the United States who voted for Donald Trump to become the president. He won the popular vote, swept all the swing states, who in fact campaigned heavily on the Department of Government Efficiency doing exactly what it's currently doing. Again, they closed the mental asylums, next minute.
Who voted for him?
I think the people were fooled.
Fooled by who?
Him.
How?
I don't...
It's a false consciousness.
It's a what?
It's a false consciousness.
What do you mean by that?
You notice the 404 error? This guy, presumably, met with some logic. Didn't the people vote for this? Has a massive 404 error, and then his buddy there jumps in and saves him from complete and utter embarrassment. Bro, I told you guys, they're all fake. Actually, they're not all fake. They're centrally organised, rented crowds, fake. It's a massive PSYOP, but there's a bunch of people with small brains, mental illnesses, or nothing better to do who are also tagging along, joining in the fun just to be part of something. To the earlier comments around Dan Ives, it's all fake. There's no meaningful damage being done here, apart from people whose brains are already damaged. And you're never going to be able to do anything about people who are so easily propagandized, or just psychotic, mentally unwell, deranged, or stupid. Don't be fooled by this massive psychological operation. It's a massive lie, an egregious deception, and only a moron would fall for this total fake horse shit. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, or I can keep going. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs.